All right, we're here with Cosmic Crucible Fatalities. We're trying to let everybody see our mess ups and some of the stuff that we go through with this. But hey, everybody should take some I guess some good points from either the wins or losses that we show, because sometimes some of these are pretty interesting. Now that we have replays, we could see some stuff out there, but if anybody's got any interesting Crucible attacks, whether they're defense or offense, send them in over Discord so we could have some fun too with it. When we look at them and we go, oh crap, you probably shouldn't have did that. We could definitely help you out and show you at least a counter or something to it. We just don't want everybody to lose. Majority of us do. But hey, we try to beat and try to get back up there. Ruevar, you have some funny ones going already, so why don't you start with that?
So I had problems last week with sus secret defenders with or without Thanos in one. So I switched it up and I moved him in with the Extreme X-Men and Rogue, and put I think it was a Quick Hold, some version of Dark Hold in one. And yeah, it seems like I've gotten to the point right before Diamond with the people I'm fighting where they don't have sus and APOC on defense, and they're just one-shotting everything. So the first two matches I had this week convinced me just to pull basically everything off defense and go for our high-octane offense.
How's that? How's it working out now?
Well, I won the third match, but you can go to the next one. Kind of shows some of the problems I had.
Well, I like what you're doing with sus. You threw him on with Extreme, but you still had Rogue there with it, so you weren't throwing somebody else. You weren't throwing somebody else from Extreme, or just the fact that they're built up a little bit more.
I think people were a little hesitant to use Sunspot, which is probably who I should have had in there for Rogue. And Cyclops really doesn't do a lot.
No, he doesn't. He just sits there. He literally sits there and doesn't do anything. And it's actually kind of funny because for me, he's kind of strong. So it's like, okay, I wish he would do something, but he doesn't. So it's kind of like, well, now what do I do? But with you can knock out, if it's a full Extreme, you can knock them out with what's it called? Sinister Six. So it Vulture and Mysterio, which is outrageously nuts because I didn't think it would work, especially how good Extreme looks, on paper, but they really just failed. They really did. It was just failing. And
I mean, sent you, by the way.
No, here's this one. So you got round 2 here with you got Darkhold with Vulture.
Yeah. So Vulture gets speed from heroes, I believe.
Yes, from any hero enemies, he'll get some speed. If they bring him in. So
thought is maybe he can get first. I mean, obviously right here we got 4 heroes.
Yeah.
But this and the next one you see is very similar to this matchup, and it just absolutely crushes it.
This is the second.
That's the one that just absolutely destroyed the team again. I was just like, I'm taking sus off defense.
Yeah, he's not. Let's see, I had 2 versus CCs. Yeah, so I've had a really bad cup. Well, last week I did okay. This week last week's 2-1. This one's 1-2. So I am looking at my defense is wholly. It's the offensive part. I gotta try to beat the other side without sus. But I think where you're putting sus right now, Ruevar, is probably what should be thought about with it. So,
well, I guess the problem was that he didn't work in 1, and he's not working in 5. And so it's like, do you put them in 6?
Usually you could put him with somebody that, or you could put him in a room where, I mean, 3 he'll probably maybe do great because then, you know, he does his ult right away. And it could it could potentially take at least 1 or 2 characters out. But even if you get that 1 character out, that might be the efficiency that you need to go ahead and win the match. However, if they have sus on defense, now you got to figure out how to beat their sus without yours. That's the issue that I'm running into right now.
So,
that's the only issue I'm thinking.
Like I said, this is the one that, like, it just easily walked over it, and I was just like, all right, I'm taking sus off defense. I'm going to use them on offense to get my one-shots and try to put up enough rooms to where maybe they don't plan out right or something, and they have to two-shot something. And I'm gonna one-shot everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how to do that. However, you know, with this setup here with Darkhold and Quicksilver, they seem to be. I mean, doesn't matter if you put them in 3 or 6. One way or another, they might mess it up. They really might mess this up because if they make one wrong move, then boom, you could Darkhold could take over really quick and just knock out 2 characters. But you got.
This was mine,
and this, Widow. Yeah,
my turn bonus was absolute trash, and it's the difference between the 2 teams that you the one you've already seen and the one you're going to see. They had Kestrel with this group, and she absolutely dominated.
Well, I mean, let's see here, proof. Yeah, Kestrel. This lineup here is really what you should be using against Darkhold to try and push them. But, I mean, it still did somewhat okay because you got them down 16-16. So it did, you messed up their efficiency a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Great.
But 16-16 is a lot better than 16-0, you know what I'm saying?
I mean...
I think this one was won by like 18 points or something like that he won by, so...
It's, I mean, but still, it gives you a chance there. You gotta, but then again, he's coming in with a 2 diamond Kestrel. Those pings are gonna be slapping the hell out of somebody, slapping like crazy. Although there's a lot of heroes, but that Vulture can only do so much, and he doesn't really get any synergy with the rest of them. So it's just like he's gonna start off first, but it's like, whatever. If you put Darkhold in 3, you can put Pegasus in 2. That would be nice. Yeah, if you have a built-up Pegasus, it's great to do it. From what I've seen, either people have a 1 million Pegasus or closer to 2 million. There's really not too many that are right in the middle. They're just like, I'm either going to spend on Pegasus or I'm not. But then again, it takes Kestrel off of using them for the offensive side to take out Darkhold. Or Darkhold, Quicksilver, Darkhold, whatever.
Or, I mean, like, they take out a lot of teams. They'll take out Death Seed in 5, they absolutely crush them. So I mean, there's lots of teams that they can counter.
Yeah, true. Pegasus can do so, but even if Pegasus is on defense, taking them out it can mess up somebody's head really quick because you don't want to try anything that you shouldn't be trying. But then if you're forcing them to use other teams in other rooms, you're like, well, then who the hell do I got left for Pegasus? Especially if it's a big Kestrel and you're going, I don't want Kestrel to yeet somebody turn 1 because she usually can if she's in the diamonds. And I think, yeah, you could probably try putting them in 3 and hoping that it works. But then again, it's just Darkhold reduces the chance of assists. But unless you have all 5, they still, the opposing team still has a chance to do the assist part. And that's just people running over pretty quick. Yeah, if they get going, you're pretty good. But once if you just tunnel rescue, and she doesn't, she stealths or whatever. At least if you kill her right away before she stealths, the team falls apart. Kestrel still might hit you once or twice, but the team falls apart once you take care of rescue. That's the bad part.
And so, like I said, I tried to like spread out the teams. It took Sus off defense, and I think the next one you'll see, it actually I ended it with a 52-02 in round 3, and they got tripped up a little bit. I think we've seen 5, so it should be 6. Yeah, they got tripped
All
up.
right. Okay, if they're tripping up with this, I'm just saying you should probably put a little bit more help into that baby Doctor Strange as a 2-diamond Doctor Strange.
He's 2 diamond. He's got plenty of help. What do you mean?
Give him a little bit more. You got like, I got no diamonds on Doctor Strange, so he's staying at like 56k. I don't give a shit. But you got him at 2 diamonds, which means he could be a pain in the ass if he's built.
Yeah,
you could have one of the strongest Doctor Strange in game, and he could be a pain in the ass. So
against the Darkhold in Room 1, he used SD APOC, and then he used Eternals Nova Emma against. I have Black Order with Storm in Room 2 now, and then in Room 3 he used Castrol with Doom Omega Red against my Infinity Watch to get a high turn bonus. And New Warriors against my hybrid of like Quicksilver, what is it? The Big Time Spider-Man, and then the 3-piece from New Avengers. I switched out Sus for Cyclops. I'm probably going to switch him out for Sunspot now, with Rogue still in the team. And he used Sinister 6, Superior 6 against that. And so you get the last room, I think he was just like, oh, MOE should be fine. And it was not fine.
It didn't work out for him here. Like I said,
I think not fine at all.
I think even better if you build up Doctor Strange, because you can't really put too much more. You can't put anything else into the other 4. So you might as well just say, fuck it, let me just throw as much as I can into Doctor Strange, and he'll hold a little bit better, and then boom. As long as you get 1 win, you're good. As long as 1 win, it gives you some breathing room. The bad part is that you don't know you got that breathing room until after you're done with all 6 rooms. So
room 3 is tech skill, I believe.
Room 2 is tech skill.
Is it?
Yeah, room 2 is tech skill, and room 3 is the
Property
you
power.
get 2.
Okay.
Yeah, the power part. BO is fast in 3. I do keep them there. However, my Black Order is over 2 million because they all have freaking. They just all. Well, I had them in 3. I moved them to 2, but they all have diamonds, and it still might pull something else that might potentially do it. But when you watch it back, you're just going, God damn, they really do a lot of damage. The one that really scares people, that doesn't really scare anybody until I actually see the replay, is Corvus. If he gets to snap off and do his ult, he usually yeets somebody. So I guess that's the good part about having piercing damage. Corvus just goes out and just like, boom, that's it. We're hitting somebody. Need to hit somebody, and he usually yeets somebody because it's just he deals a bunch of damage. So he's got. I'm guessing you want to throw this in 4. That's my room starting next round. All right, I'll show you that. I'm gonna give you my advice on this. Okay. I'm not scared of this at all. I would literally take in Doc Ock. Let's see, Doc Ock, Craven, Mysterio, Vulture, and Green Goblin Classic, and they run over these fuckers quick. It just demolishes them. As long as Mysterio's special happens, and they blind they blind and block, this team falls apart. Now, that's a 3-diamond gambit. It's a little scary, but the rest of them is like, ooh, it'd be better if the rest of them were 18. Besides Cyclops, he just stands there and looks pretty. I don't know, he just flashes his damn eyeball in the sky, and you're like, do something. Please do something. True, it also means they can't use Doc Ock at someplace else. But you could destroy this with MOE as well. If they're if they're punching down. Punching across or punching up, I haven't seen it yet. But punching down, MOE can take this team too. But if you're pulling it, great. That's a good one. You would have to make sure, like, you should throw Infinity Watch into another room, so that way they're sitting there juggling, like, which one do I do? Where do I send those teams to? And it's like, ooh, I don't know which one they're gonna go. Which one they're gonna go for? They're gonna send it over here to make sure Extreme is taken care of, or they're gonna send, Sinister Six over there to Infinity Watch, where they'll just destroy them. But Ultron, well, he probably, not necessarily. If you could stun Gambit, he's not doing anything.
I mean, that's the thing with with the teams I have in defense now. Like, two of them aren't even a contest really. It's just what are you going to send in to make sure you get some sort of efficiency out of? And then there's 3 or 4 of them where it's like, okay, I want to use this team on this team, and this team, but I can only use it somewhere once. And planning out the best second teams for them all. And if you mess up, like you saw with the Secret Defenders there, they're like, oh, I'll just use MOE on it, and it was the wrong call. It's tons of teams where it's like Superior 6 would do great against the X-Men. Superior 6 would do great against Secret Defenders. But which one are you going to choose it for?
Yeah, it's basically just which one are you going to force them to use it, and then they go, damn, I wish I could use them in another room. And that's basically what this season, and what looks like the next season will probably end up being too, where it's all about efficiency and where can you pull these other teams or make them guess, like, God, I really need to use Superior 6 here, or and then you're just boom. Hopefully it messes them up, which is basically what you want to do. You want your opponent to just be mind fucked, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna win because he messed up. He messed up using this when he should have used something else. And what I was trying to push was this. This is what I got in mind. So this was one, and Jesus, man, I enjoy watching this every time, because this seems to just, I don't know why he did this again and again and again. He did it 3 times to try to get it done, and he finally got it done, but it won me the match, so it's great. However, he messed up again, and I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm baffled at this. I don't know what happened, but I'm just completely just in awe of going, how did you do this? How did this? I don't understand it. You should be fine. Try to keep SD for room 6. It's it, yeah. Well, yeah, it's just size, but they punched down to begin with, but they messed up. And then they said, okay, let's try this again. So, SD can mess up a lot of people on defense, Trevor. But if you've been using them on offense, man, keep going with it. The only thing I would say, as long as you're winning, then that's a good thing. If not, then try putting SD either in 1 or 6 to mess some people up and see what happens. But I've kept this in room 1 with Dorm and Sus, and it seems to trip people up. So I think Gamma is better outside of War. They probably are, but the only thing that right now that's different is we beefed up A-Bomb. That's about it. I'm not gonna put anything else into Gamma, unless the diamonds pop out of nowhere for them, out of the orbs. There's no reason for me to build on them. I'm just gonna let them be what they may, and let it be that way. I'm not gonna put more into them. But any other characters, I'm still gonna push. But man, any other advice for our people out there, Ruevar?
I mean, like I said, this season has been figured out. I think that the way it's going to go early on is getting interesting defenses that are hard to figure out. And as we get further and further into the seasons, more going towards offense, and towards the end, it seems like it's trying to have some tricky stuff, but just everything you can possibly have on offense, because it's going to be, perfect scores is going against perfect scores. If you can't one shot every room, you're probably going to lose.
That's exactly it. You got to try to one shot every room. I don't care if my defense can hold and at least pull one victory off of it, and I can just one shot every room. Don't matter if I lose every person on there. They're losing 400 points. I'm losing 30, 40. I'm fine with it as long as I get the win. But it is a problem trying to figure out how to defeat those rooms without Sus and Dorm on it. But I do have APOC. I do have, a big Eternals. I do have a lot of people up there. It's just, boom, I have to put, you gotta figure out where you're gonna use those teams at. New Warriors are still decently good. You just gotta know where to use them, where not to use them, because some New Warriors are good, but they're not great. It's not like a foolproof thing. Tangled, yeah, Tangled is pretty, they're not bad, but they serve a purpose, which is usually to kick the crap out of Darkhold, if possible. Eternals are there too, but MOE doesn't beat everything. They're great, but they don't beat everything. And you kind of got to figure out which ones, where you're going to put them. And that's the issue that I'm having. I got to make sure I know exactly what to do when it comes to a sus I see that I got to face.
I mean, Killshot's absolutely correct that, Sinister, Superior, 6, whatever you want to call them, Mo and New Warriors are great teams, and they can clear a lot of them. The problem is that that's 3 rooms. There's still 3 more rooms you gotta clear.
That's true. And and if you don't one shot them, then you go, fuck, I just wasted 5. Who else am I going to be able to bring in as backup to knock these guys out? I wasn't expecting to lose, but now I did. I really don't want to use one of these other teams that I was hoping for room 4 or whatever room you got to go to, and then that messes up an entire plan. It's just you got to know exactly who you're going up against and how to beat them. But next season rules, they look a bit interesting, but not. But we're getting that in 20 days. So 20 days, the new season starts.
Any idea?
We'll get a patch right before it.
When they're looking at expressing what the rules are going to be, or
I'm gonna probably guess either next blog post or the one right after that, because the patch is coming a little bit. It should be on the 6th or 7th or something like that on there. And then,
you think they're going to do 36 again?
No, it's going right into season 6. Right. I've seen that the envoys keep asking them for it, and they're just they don't. It's not in the plan. So, and it's more well, everybody loved it, everybody enjoyed it. It would bring a lot of hype to the game for it, and we don't have a holiday right now, right after it, that would mess anything up. So you should do it. Oh, well, shit. If they did it right there by the patch, fuck, that's Valentine's Day. Ooh. Well, we were gonna.
No one cares about Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, no one gives a Valentine's Day.
If you're playing this, you're either married or single. Yeah. Let's be real.
I'm married. She's staying with me. She's screwed. So yeah, they're not gonna do another Ultimate 30s, but I wish they would. I could see them literally doing it. You could throw in if they threw in the same rules that were in the first Ultimate 30, everybody would still have a blast, because you got a whole bunch of different other teams, and it's 5 days of it, and everybody's trying to get to that number 1. I think it would be beneficial, and it would probably build a lot of morale with people, instead of going, we gotta wait, whatever, how many, 60, 70, 90 days or whatever for the next season. We got 5 days of interesting new stuff that we could play with, and hopefully I could get to number 1 and just, bam, take the crown of beating 31 other people. But they don't see it that way, so we'll just have to enjoy what we have. Which isn't
beat them
much,
over the head with a hammer till they give us what we want?
Yeah, we could try, but they just gave in for, you know, changing the unique for Gwen. I don't think we're gonna get anything bigger than that for quite a while. I think we should just take what we got and be happy. Just be happy with it. Got one. We got one down from alien spores. I don't think we're gonna be able to push a lot more from it, but it is what it is. I'm happy that the season's coming to an end. We'll get some changes, and then we'll get some more funny Crucible stuff, and hopefully they leave the replay button in instead of taking it out and putting it back in, taking it out, putting it back in. Like, they're messing with me with this sometimes. I really want to watch some of these, and then I look back and I'm like, how come this one I don't see the replay? But next week I'll see the replay button. Like, y'all got to figure this out. Y'all really do. I like the replay button. Lets us all laugh together.
Did we hear anything about Black Cat, Nova, or what's his face?
Oh no, they haven't said nothing yet about that.
Rip.
You see my alien spore stash? No, I have not seen your alien spore stash, T-Dats, and I think it's gonna make me just hurt myself if you show me a damn picture of it. You better not have more than 100, because I'm rolling over your feet next time I see you. Swear to God, I will roll over your feet, and it will definitely be on purpose, and you can blame me later, but I still will roll over those damn feet. Do not hurt my soul today.
I think I'm like at a whopping like 3.
I got a few, but I got enough to take 1 to 18. But it's like, if I don't got enough of everything else to help the others out, I'm saving them, and I'll try to push everybody, you know, equally.
I took Venom to 18 for 3 Diamond Gambit.
I wish I could. I'm still off.
Carnage
by,
and
like,
Void Knight are both. I got 0. I have 0 alien spores. Carnage and Void Knight are both tier 16 though.
Oh well, hey, there you go. Yeah, I'm still way off for Venom, so he needs a whole bunch of gear, and it's not happening. So. Yeah, 195 currently. Nice going, kill shot. I'm trying to push myself back up there, but I need to build up other characters. Eventually, I'll get to there. But I'm not worried about. I'm more just about having fun. However, that fun seems to be interrupted by my boss, who wants to give me more shit to do. So it's either keep the lights on or enjoy Crucible. Kind of want to keep the lights on, because then. Got 2 people over there that would, you know, kick me in the nuts if the lights went out. And they stay out. That would be a bad thing. So, is what it is. But is there anything else you guys want to tell anybody for Crucible for next week, man?
Hey, you know, the big thing is having fun. If you're getting frustrated where you're at, try to look at what you're doing, what your tactics. Like, you know, I got frustrated. I had a bad week last week, had a bad week this week, and I said, you know, I need more offense, less defense, and hopefully that pays off next week. But at the end of the day, you know, do what you can do. You know, work on pushing Crucible teams. Don't work on pushing teams specifically fit rooms, because in a few weeks we're gonna get all new rooms, and I'm not sure if you remember, but like I had people during the last one that were like, oh, let me push my Bifrost for this room 2 or 3 or whatever. I forget which one the raid team was. And it's like, you have no idea if there's going to be a raid room. There might not even be a raid room next CC. And then suddenly you're like, oh, I don't have any materials. I don't have any gold. I don't have any training mats. And it's like, well, if you just held back a little bit into giving into like, I need to win this last CC.
Yeah, don't focus on any of the focus on whatever teams have a Crucible tag. That's the only advice I could ever give. If they have a Crucible tag in their kit, you're okay to focus on them. But anybody else, these guys could throw it all over. They were thinking about a Hive Mind room, but I can neither confirm or deny whether or not it's still there. We'll leave it that way. But building up symbiotes for raids is a definite. That's the only other advice I can give. But if you want, do like everybody else. Send us in a screenshot of your Crucible win or loss into the Discord. We'll throw that up there as well. If you got the video of it and you got some people that are just basically just losing to crap teams that you put, do it. Just go ahead and send it to us. We would love to laugh at any replays that we can get, since Scopely doesn't know whether or not to keep them up or not. So we see the button some days and then we don't see the button some days. But otherwise, I want to thank Ruevar for being up here, letting us see his beautiful work. And boom, we'll be back next week for some more Crucible stuff. So until then, DKG and Ruevar rolling out. Be right back.
Roll out.